thread amongst those people that will come out shortly and be presenting their poems and really parts of their lives. The common thread is some kind of connection to war, either as a soldier, a veteran, or as a family member of a soldier or veteran. That's the common thread. We spent a number of days getting to know each other and getting to hear each other. I'm assuming that in the audience people have different political opinions and different ideas and different attitudes towards what's going on in the world. This day is really not about that so much as it's about the suffering of the human soul and the question of whether it's possible to bring people together in order to heal. And whether it's possible to make that healing something tangible enough that it could be passed on to the next generation the way wars are passed down to the next generation. So you'll hear a lot of things. Some of them are beautiful, a lot of them are. Some of them are in fact horrible. They're the memories of people who have lived through horrible things. The point isn't to agree with everything. The point is to find one's own feelings in the midst of a kind of a spiritual triage that we're going to try and present.
Hi, I'm Laura. I'm a veteran of the war in Afghanistan, and I'm preparing for deployment to Iraq. This poem is about a spiritual crisis that I had when I was over there, and I used to be really Catholic, and so there's a prayer in it. It's in Latin, and so the translation for that is, Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world, have mercy on us. Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world, have mercy on us. Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world, grant us peace. This is called Lima Charlie. Dear God in heaven or wherever, perhaps because my Humvee rolls through the valleys of the shadow of death, Tagal, Jalalabad, Kabul. Or perhaps because this land looks so much like the picture Bible of my childhood, I look for you in its swirling sands. Any of these mounts, it seems, could hold a Jesus, preaching blessings on all I am not, the meek, the peacemaker. I went to 3 chaplains with my cloven soul. The first one gave me medals of your saints, Michael with his sword. They're fond of that one. The second anointed my head with oil, but couldn't tell me why my cup runneth over when all around me your children die for want of drink, their thirsty bodies too weak to scream, whispering your name. The third offered holy water to douse me with, while just outside 2 babies were sprinkled with shrapnel. From minarets they call out your greatness, but the explosions drown their prayers, seeming greater still. Mortars steal children. Rockets crumble men. If any should die before they wake, well, you know the rest, I'm sure. The bombs rain down, fire from above. The mines, like geysers, fire from below. And in the streets, the fires are burning. We speak of fighting fire with fire, of firefights, firepower, enemy fire, and friendly. I plead with you for cleansing fire. The candles burning on 1,000,000 altars, smoldering incense, sage, or sweetgrass exhaling over the world. Couldn't a monk set himself ablaze or something? It seems fitting now. Or the one I was taught to call Prince of Peace could send his spirit down in tongues of flame. A dove would work as well, I suppose, the symbolism lost on no one. The Cherokee and Navajo burned sacred tobacco to find you. I, for my part, flick my 17th cigarette against a bush, hoping it may ignite and you might speak. The brush catches for a moment, crackles, then dissolves into silence, like static on a radio. Agnus Dei qui tollis peccata mundi miserere nobis. How copy, over? Agnus Dei qui tollis peccata mundi miserere nobis. How copy, over? Agnus Dei qui tollis peccata mundi, dona nobis pacem. The silence on your end thunders in my skull, so deafeningly, loud and clear. On the death of a young suicide bomber. He tried to kill my best friend. He was enemy. He was dead. I know how I was supposed to feel, but still I cannot muster any wry laughter for this man, whose corpse and car bomb are now cool, silent, still. The nightmares lie to me. If Freud was right and our dreams reveal our wishes, then I must wish his body were just dismantled, spread about in wayward bits someone could come along and Frankenstein together. I see it all when I sleep. Limbs torn from torso cleanly, like puzzle pieces. Entrails, uncoiled but intact, tumbling out the belly. Viscera still moist, glistening in the Afghan sun. It isn't true. Nothing was left whole. His clothing, white cotton streaked with blood and shit, clung to the mangled steel like bandages dressing a giant metal wound. Sand-colored dogs marred with gore tore flesh from carcass. And all around, the pulp of him. Like kitchen waste left out too long, stinking in the streets. I know they promised him glory. We are all promised glory. They must have told him he was off to save the world from evil, kindled some righteous fire inside the membranes that split that day, to release all around the pulp of him, the sticky softness, the juice. I think of my own body, which seemed so solid a moment before, a frame for armor, ammo, rifle, a vessel filled with strength. But I saw, all around, the pulp of him, human batter baking in the heat. And I think of the body of my own son, as he grows in the shadow of Fort Bragg, Pope Air Force Base, Camp Lejeune. Soon, there will be G.I. Joes and little green army men, I know. And an Xbox to spray pixelated carnage in his face, and movies to teach him which people are good guys and which are killable. The recruiters will come. They'll promise glory once again. There will be no human batter in the ads, no sticky softness, no kitchen waste. I think of him asleep in peace, for he has no nightmares of war to interfere. I want to still the gunfire, the bombs, the soldiers' chants, that goddamn soul-stripping wry laughter, and the naked malice they told me I should feel. I want to still them all and say, hush now, world, a child is sleeping. A sweet souffle still rising, so desperately fragile. And if you must use words like martyr and infidel, or hero and enemy, then whisper them. It is all too easy to destroy. A clotted mess of protein in the bottom of the pan, a brown-red stain soaking into dust.